Hey everyone, this is Nawaz Singania here of the Body Art Fitness Centers, and it is lovely seeing you guys here. Good to see you guys coming in. Hi, hello. Kabi, Mr. Chauhan, Dipesh, Sonar, Dheeraj, hey, hi. Dipreet, all you guys, fabulous to see you here. I'm very excited to be hosting this today. I must give you a little background. In May, I was actually judging the Times of India. It was an entrepreneurship award, Pan India, and I was judging various participants in different cities. And in the Delhi sector of it, of course, it was all online, on Zoom, naturally. In the Delhi sector of it, hey Aparna, hey Avni, hey Devanshi, Surti, Kara. Okay, so great seeing you all. Seeing some other familiar names, fabulous. Okay, so good to see you all in the safe 1D space. Anyway, getting back to my story, I was judging this competition. I met a very interesting girl by the name of Yashica, Jolhotra, and her company was called the Quantum of Happiness, which really says it all, doesn't it? So, to kind of lay a bit of a foundation stone out here, I would like to share a few things with you. I was visiting Bhutan last year, and I was very impressed with their with the way they judged their nation and its progress. They didn't judge themselves by their GDP, their gross domestic product or produce. It was judged by its GDH, which is gross domestic happiness. So the question really was, are you happy? Are you truly, genuinely happy? Because if you're not, nothing else matters, right? That's the whole point. And we as a society like to ignore this, like to miss this. We really miss the forest for the trees out there. So, Durgesh, hi, Imran, hi, Faisal, hi everyone. Great having you here. Okay, so I want to say that a couple of stories. Dr. Wayne Dyer needs no introduction. A very unhappy woman once asked him, "What are the blocks to my happiness? Why can't I be happy? What are the blocks?" And he answered, "The belief that you even have blocks." Isn't that really powerful? And isn't that true for us all? Why do we believe? Why do we self-sabotage that we at all have these blocks? Something to deeply think about. Just as I was getting into this Insta Live with you, my favorite brother, my elder brother, quite unknowingly sent me this, which I want to read to you. I think we have some sort of telepathy going on often enough, me and him. So I'm sharing this with you, I'm reading it out. It's about the tennis star Martina Navratilova. She was once asked, "So how do you maintain your focus, your physique, your sharp game, even at the age of 43? And very humbly she replied, "Well, the ball doesn't know how old I am. You need to stop yourself from stopping yourself." Every game in life is actually played on a 6-inch, just a 6-inch ground. What is that? The space between your 2 ears. That's all. We don't live in bungalows, duplex, or flats. We don't live in the real world. We don't live in our families. We don't live in our jobs. We only live in our mind. Our thoughts in our mind, coupled with our emotions in our mind, lead to our reality. So we need to make sure that we end up in a very happy space there, and most of us are not. So that is what we're talking about here. Life is great when things are sorted in the head, when things are uncluttered in the head. I'm continuing with what Martina, that story, okay? I digressed into my own, but I'm continuing with that right now. So keeping in mind, keeping the mind messy with hatred, which keeps growing on the table, regrets which keep piling up in the corner, expectations which keep boiling in the kitchen, secrets which are stuffed under the carpet, and worries littered everywhere, ruins this real home. And the key factor to performing well in life and in every area, and that's really about being happy, isn't it, is the ability to control the quality and the quantity of your internal dialogue. So, live in peace and not in pieces is the issue. I want to introduce Yashica, like I said, Quantum of Happiness, that I was very impressed with. She is a Delhi-based girl. We all know that Delhi and Bombay are in the heights of the throes of this coronavirus attack right now, right? So who better than to give us some very, very real, important advice at this point in time? I happened, as I left Bhutan, to be gifted by somebody very special to me a book titled The Bhutanese Guide to Happiness. It is by a writer called, let me pronounce this right, by Gyonpo Shering. And one of the quotes in there says, "A happy life is like the blink of an eye, but a miserable life is like a never-ending story." Isn't it true? Time flies when you're having fun. So, the mind is its own place. It can make a hell of heaven and a heaven of hell. It really is your choice. Let me get Yashica in. I'm going to keep talking to you while I do this, but she's almost in. Sorry, I'm not very good at this, and I've got the sun in my eyes right now, as you can see. Hey, Yashica, good to see you.
Hi, good evening. Good evening, Nawaz Modi ji, and good evening to everyone who is at this channel. I welcome you all to this beautiful place.
We have a lot of people with us. Aryan, Reyaz, Aparna. We have a lot of people who are very interested in hearing what you have to say. Dylan, thank you for the background. He says he likes it. Good to hear. Sanskar, all well, all good. So, Yashica, you have some noise in your background, which we could do without if possible. Some hammering,
Okay. I think it's outside my home. I won't be able to control it. I'm so sorry.
No worries, no worries. So, Yashica, I just, want to say to you that what you're doing is fabulous, is very interesting. I'm sure it's more and more required these days, especially in the very, very difficult times that we're all facing. My husband was telling me about, having gone out for a drive during the lockdown and how he felt very, he said it was sad. There was nobody there. It was so boring. It was eerie, you know, like the world had been taken over. And it was a negative experience. Now that he goes out for a drive, he says, oh my God, there's so much traffic and there's so much congestion. It's horrible. And that's just the point, right? We have it all. It's how we decide to take it. When you have it good, you figure it's not. When you have it bad, you figure it's bad.
Absolutely.
It's
Yeah.
really up to us, isn't it? Enjoy it all as it is. Now, more pointedly, Yashica, I wanted to get directly to the point. I know you have a lot of very interesting, valuable stuff to say, and we're going to address it all. But before we come to that, I wanted to ask you that, you know, my prediction very early in the day, February, March, ahead of the time when COVID actually broke out in a more serious way, I predicted that the people who had a lot of chinks in their armor, and by that I mean people who are maybe not all there, who had issues, who had depression, maybe people who were on, you know, the brink of a job loss, or unhappy in marriages or relationships, or having issues with their finances, things of that sort, or maybe they were over leveraged, deep in debt, etc. My prediction was that, oh my God, now when COVID hits you, it's going to be 1,000 times worse. This is going to be catastrophic. And sure enough, we are seeing that now, aren't we? I mean, even for the rest of us who otherwise were sound, solid, you know, head on the shoulders, good backbone, etc., are feeling frazzled in this situation. The added problem is that people tend to lead on alcohol, although of course it is only going to worsen all our problems, lower our immunity, get us more dehydrated, make us iller, deplete our health, etc. And it's a huge depressant in itself, yet people we know lean on things like alcohol, perhaps even drugs, to try and feel better about the situation or themselves. Perhaps they're trying to eradicate boredom, put themselves in an alternate frame of mind just for a while, feel better, feel lighter. Perhaps it's because they just don't know what else to do. But it leads to a multitude of socioeconomic problems, doesn't it? I mean, it leads to violence then of sorts, because there is a lot of anger, a lot of bitterness, a lot of fear, negativity in this COVID environment. I mean, you know, death, job loss, financial loss, business loss, there's all sorts of very, very negative emotions out there. And therefore, one wonders that with your techniques, how does one really overcome all of this? Additionally, the alcohol leads to, you know, domestic violence. Very often people are holed up at home. Hey, Nawaz, nice name. People are holed up at home with their abusers in this horrifying space now. Physical violence, verbal violence, domestic violence. It's a horrible situation. The alcohol makes it worse. So all this then leads to depression. Depression can be ignored, has been ignored. It is taboo in our society. You can't talk about it. You can't mention it. You are ostracized if you dare talk about it. It's unacceptable sort of a thing. Hey, Romeo. And then that leads to other issues, bipolar problems. Look, if I can't talk about it, my family will refuse to see it because it's not accepted. Then what? Then it just gets worse, right? You start leading into psychosis of major sorts. Bipolar, schizophrenia, sociopathic behavior, psychopathic behavior, and the added confusion of the fact that it is not always clean. One overlays the other. Little bits of this, little bits of that. So, now in this situation, could you please shed some light on how, on a practical note, we can work on really what's important up there? I mean, how am I going to be happy when there's no food on my table, when people are dying, when I'm losing my business, so on and so forth. What does one really do? And at a later point, or wherever you feel comfortable, please touch on what you are doing best. All the fabulous stuff you were telling me about earlier, laws of attraction, the science behind gratitude, meditation, NLP, manifestation, as you like. The floor is yours. Would you take it?
Thank you so much, Nawaz Modi ji, and thank you so much again for the introduction and about Bhutan's story. This is such a fantastic, platform which you have set already for the audience here, who are now aware that now what we are going to talk about. We are going to talk about happiness, and she rightly said that it is all the complete universe is inside here in this little space, right? And the perfect example, as you are giving about the drive which your husband went on, when there was traffic, people were disturbed. When there is, empty roads, people are afraid of. So where is the problem? Don't we think that problem is not always outside, it's always inside? Whether it's corona, it may be, sometimes tsunami, it may be sometimes some other natural disasters also. When we are putting so much of focus on any particular problem, the problem is going to expand, right? As you said that in February, March, I think you predicted some kind of things and it happened. And this is how generally people every day are predicting their days. Every day when they wake up, they are set with their day. This is going to be a bad day. My maid might not turn up. I may be late of today, or any kind of negative expectations. We are, trained to do that. Since childhood, we are trained to do that. Since childhood, we are trained to talk like this, walk like this, think like this. And this is coming from our own structured atmosphere of family, society, school systems, and then media is always there to train our minds, set our belief systems. But what about if we just do the opposite? If we are able to actually set a positive intention that this is something going to happen and this is I'm going to live my way with. This positive thought is not just a theoretical thought, that it is a motivation. Whatever we are thinking, in a day we are getting around 70 to 80,000 thoughts. Imagine the garbage we are having. And frankly, practically, scientifically, there is no escape to what we think. The only way we have, okay, people come to me and they say, okay, we were meditating, and how can we control our thoughts? How can we chunk them down? How can we have little thoughts? Actually, it is not possible. It is the work of our mind, like the work of our heart is to beat. We cannot control the function. The function of our brain is to think. We cannot control. What we can do, we can rewire the thought processes, rewire it. How do we think? What we should think, and with practical techniques and modalities, we can actually, rewire our thought processes. And once we change our thought processes, the surroundings change. You will find that people start attracting what they want. People start attracting what they intended. Whether you intend something negative, it is going to come. Whether you start intending something positive, it is going to come. So your mind, your subconscious does not know what is good, what is negative, what is positive. This you want, this you do not want. Your subconscious mind, your mind knows that this is what you are focusing on and this is what you are going to have in your life. And I think, Nawaz Modi ji, this is how we all, me, you, everyone here as a human being is living the life. Right?
Very well said. Yeah, very well said. Very important, very valid. But that, I guess, also has to be balanced out with, like you said, I predicted this back then, about people who may have chinks in the armor and would meet this fate. But it has to be balanced out. I mean, it's just a bit of foresight, right? A bit of common sense. And it has to be balanced out with the notion that, okay, to be forewarned is to be forearmed. See what's coming, right? Or then self-preservation is a bit of an issue. So I suppose a balance of these two things. We've had a whole lot of people join us saying hello and asking some fabulous questions, Yashica. We've had Sanju, Vicky, Sushant, Kushwant, Syed, Ali, um, Farzane, Yogi, and love to have you all here. Please jump in and ask any questions that you like. Somebody else said something very valid that I'd interject with, Aman. And that can't be Smarty, but we have a Smarty and a Shiv. Hello. So yes, thank you for reminding me, you guys. I was going to say it, but there was so much. Aparna, hi. There was so much to be said that I missed it. Shabana, hi. Nisa, Dylan, hi all. So we do know, right, that 34-year-old actor Sushant Singh Rajput today committed suicide in his Mumbai apartment. He hung himself. I think a Patna boy, if I'm not mistaken. I think his roots lie there. Very good actor. Seemingly had good prospects going forward, but he hung himself. Now look at that extreme case of what the pressures, the lack of happiness in our conversation, the
Absolutely.
depression would have
Yes.
been to take
Yes.
someone to that point. And if you could even
Actually.
reflect on that a little bit and go forward with the rest of what you're saying, that would be very practically useful to us all.
Yeah, I think I read some comments. People are asking for how to handle emotions of insecurities. Like, I think if we are taking this example of late Sushant Rajput, the insecurities, the fear, the phobias, or we even don't know what kind of pressures he was having, he was building inside his head. And
Yes.
public knew that he was a successful, happy, cheerful, smart actor. But whatever is happening inside anybody's head, it is his own game, right? Even nobody can judge. However, we are surrounded with successful people, happy people, but the game inside running in the head is always our game. I always say your mindset is your responsibility. I repeat, your mindset is your responsibility. It is not your boss' responsibility, neither it is your spouse's responsibility, nor your children can take your happiness responsibility unless you are empowered enough in your mind that you are able to take care of your surroundings, especially your mindset. Then even corona timings, I have seen so many people, feel totally okay even these challenging times. How we see stories on social media how a poor girl or poor boy is playing happily without even food. It is always a mindset. Even a rich person's child who may be having a buffet ready with him might be cranky all the time. So situations are not important. Important is how to think the right way, how to have a right mindset. And it is a big game. It is a life-changing game. Trust me, I have seen it happening. Thousands of people have changed their lives with the little tips and techniques and strategies of neuro-linguistic programming, law of attraction, meditation, and the right thinking patterns.
Absolutely, very important. Thank you. And I want to add to that, Yashika, that I feel that perhaps in an Indian setting, maybe because of some social energy, by the way, a whole lot more saying, a lot of people saying a whole lot more. Ritik, Akash, Utkarsha, hi. Durgesh, Pratik, Geeta, Samar, seeing you all. Yakan, seeing you all, great. I want to add that, in this Indian setting, perhaps there's some part of our upbringing or energy around the place which makes us feel that we will be happy or we will be complete only when we have somebody else in our life, kind of to pado on, kind of to lean on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And yeah, my father, for instance, has always, I come from a Parsi background. My father has always emphasized, coming from that background, that marriage is not important. You be useful in society, you be a good human being. Watch your own thoughts, your own words, your own deeds. learn to be happy, and learn to contribute in a way which people cannot get, something that they won't get from anybody else. And that's been my, bent. And he's always said about marriages and, this pressure, hurry up and get married, and, which we see in some cultures, that, two half-wits don't make a whole wit.
Absolutely. Correct.
So you learn to be, nobody can depend on anyone. You've got to depend on yourself, and you've got to fend for yourself.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
only then can you be a good contributor to your counterpart, to the world at large, to your family, etc., etc. And the same for them vis-a-vis you. So this is a very, very strong, communication out there that we'd like to put out to all our viewers. Please go further forward. You've touched upon some things, but could you describe them a little bit more? Hi, Jayesh. Okay, go on.
Yeah, I think why we, I believe that it is not only about India, it is majority of people all around the world. As we start from the early childhood, we start having certain kind of belief systems that comes from our, family surroundings, media, as I was saying. So in this, live talk, I would like to tell few things which people may do during this Corona period if they feel that they are feeling stuck in their mindset, they are feeling drained, they are feeling negative. The first thing people absolutely know about law of attraction or NLP might be they listen to it, but they might not be knowing how to use law of attraction in their favor. The secret book was out and people are so much aware about secret. Now the point is how to, law of attraction is working every time. As I said, that it is not whether it is positive or negative. We are attracting everything in our life with the thoughts, the frequency which we are sending to the universe, right? And now the main thing which we have to do is to just set the frequency right in our mindset so that the same frequency, what we want, matches the thing and we get that. So main idea behind all these things, whether it is NLP, whether it is law of attraction or meditation, is to be mindful of your thoughts. So how can we capture that? This is actually a bigger problem. People, I have seen even my mom is always occupied with thoughts. And as I said, 70,000-80,000 thoughts in a day. Most of them are negative in nature. So how we can change this set of system? We need to acknowledge that. Yeah, so first we need to acknowledge what is getting mindful of the thought, right? And immediately, once the thought we capture, we acknowledge, we recognize, okay, I'm going the wrong way. This is not my way. This is a negative way. I'm not going to focus what's happening. I'm not going to focus and poke into the world affairs all the time, right? First, I have to set my world inside my home. This is important. Rest will be taken care of later. Because until I am happy, I can't feed even my happiness to my family. How can I take care of the world? What's happening outside? So first thing is to acknowledge and be mindful of your thoughts. Be mindful of the TV channels you are watching. As far as I remember, I haven't switched on TV for last years or months together. I don't know how to operate the new TV set now. I don't carry a newspaper in my home. I have been a journalist for last 15 years, but there is no media coming to my home. This is not like I am, suffocating myself. It is not like this.
You don't read the news, you make the news.
Thank you. But people feel that it is, you are cutting yourself off from the world. No, I'm first aligning myself with myself. I want whoever is troubling my thoughts, I do not care about who or he is. I do not want negativity in my thoughts. I want to settle this first. So keep a check on your thoughts. How much, channels, social media, what is the feed you are getting? What are the people you are following? Are the feed, the Facebook feed, Insta feed, majority of the times it is about the, Corona times, it is about the deaths, it is about, layoffs happening in the world, it is about depression. What is the feed you are following in social media? What are the people you are surrounded with? and what are the channels you are watching, what are the books you are reading, how are you empowering your mindset? I don't know. People keep on watching and discussing all the time on phone with friends. Okay, my state is going very bad. I don't know what chief minister is doing these days. Hospitals are going this way and that way. I'm very feeling insecure about my job. So like I said, 70,000 thoughts and millions of words coming out of our mouth in a day about those things which we do not want.
You're very right. This is a very
Do not
valuable
want.
point. Yeah, and we all need
How
to
many
consider
times,
this.
how many times in a day we actually talk about what we want, what we wish, what we desire? Do we talk about happy thoughts? I really feel, find people who are talking about gratefulness, who are talking about gratitude, who are talking about the food, good food they ate today. We are live today. We are so fortunate, and the people who are watching us are so fortunate. But everything's taken being granted, and this is how we feel that scarcity is more. I feel abundance is more.
Yeah, we do need to, as you say, unfollow some people and things very, very clearly. Absolutely. Extremely important, guys, what Yashica has to share with us. Additionally, I want to add, with her emphasis on thought and what you're thinking, I want to add that actually we have power only in that thought realm. We don't have power after that, because see, thought automatically becomes word, and word automatically becomes your deed, and your deed
Absolutely.
automatically becomes the outcome of your life, because you act
And
accordingly.
this is said by Gandhi ji. Yes. Yeah,
Whatever you have,
absolutely.
good, bad, ugly, which manifests, it starts only with a thought, and then everything else plays out. So that is the only place that you have a hold, and it's extremely important, yes, to observe our thoughts, and it's very difficult to observe our thoughts, right? Many
Absolutely.
others are saying hello and have some great questions for us. Raval, Montu, Philip, Pradeep, Karan, Rohit, Vinay, Kurang, um, and Yogi, and just many others who go under names like Secret Server and things. So I don't know what to call you, but I can see you all, and it's great to have you here with us. I want to. So you were also talking, Yashica, about a little bit about not putting energy into negativity at all. Just not putting energy into it, because energy goes where energy flows, right?
Yeah.
So yes, therefore, and somebody else has asked, what is happening to my face? Okay, what's happening to my face and what light I
It's
have in my face
glowing.
is I'm standing in front of my window, and it was a cloudy day when I started, but the clouds have moved. So you're seeing the sun on and off my face. So that's what you're seeing. Anyway, it's good. Could you tell us a little bit more about, active meditation? Because the thing is that you can talk about meditation being in a variety of ways. I can just be out in nature, I can just be out in a garden, I can be sitting in a spot, I don't have to be still, I can just be in
Yeah.
nature. There's so many ways of doing it. But the problem with meditation is that right now, if you tell me sit somewhere in a garden and I don't know, breathe and hold my fourth finger, I'm going to say, really? How is this going to put food on my plate? How is it going to keep me alive? This is nonsense. So how on a practical basis can you help all of us with this aspect of meditation, which is so important today, but it needs to be fine-tuned for now?
Absolutely. Actually, a very, very prime question. Thank you so much for bringing it here. Meditation may be done with closed eyes or with open eyes. The only purpose for the meditation is to stop that chatter, the negative chatter which we are talking about, right? Some people feel meditation while they feel happy, isn't it? Happiness is ultimate goal of the life. Being, with closed eyes, how many days or years you can actually fall into. So even if I go into meditative state, I rarely go for hours and hours. It happens very rare. But I make it a habit that even if I close eyes for a few seconds, I feel the alignment within. That came with practice. Initially, I did many things that I started focusing on breath in, out. I have, on my YouTube channel, there are few guided meditations, also small meditations for people who are beginners, like 5-minute meditation, 8-minute meditation. But my whole idea again here is how to control the monkey mind, how to focus, how to bring that focus back to the happiness and to the pleasures of life instead of the scarcity and pains of life. For this, I really want to urge my viewers at your platform, your viewers, the people who are here, to give this tip that before you go to sleep, do maintain a gratitude journal. And it is very hard in the beginning. If I tell you to write only 10 statements, initially you find it really tough. Nothing good happened. It was a bad day, right? My food was not tasty at all. I couldn't go out. It was lockdown. So initially you might find 100 negative thoughts, but not 10 positive statements. But I still urge you, force you to think. Even if you are, having a mobile phone, this is a pleasure, this is a luxury, this is a gift. Even if you have a pen and notepad, when you start feeling grateful for such small things, your own body parts, start one by one with your body. What will happen if you have no hair? Just imagine yourself if you don't have hair. How will you look? Right? So even feeling gratitude for your hair will bring a smile to your face, isn't it? Because you look so beautiful. We look so, we feel fulfilled with hair, with body parts functioning well. We have this home, we have this shelter, then we have this job. In case we all, you all are serving some organization or having a business. So my idea is to start switching your focus to more areas than scarcity, than negativity, than complaints. Do not complain. Just try it for a few days. It is a practical tip. It is not theoretical. Try it for just few days, maybe 7 days. And after 7 days, you can tell Nawaz Modi, how are you feeling, right? And I'm sure it will be a great transformation in your mindset. And this is just very small practical tip. There are hundreds of simple things you can play your mind with. And just one thing I tell you, your subconscious mind is a fool, right? You can make your mind a fool. Why? Because it does not know what is true, what is false. Whatever you imagine, it becomes reality. So make your mind a fool. Make your mind a fool. Imagine beautiful things. Imagine the life you want to live. Imagine the job you want to have. Go into visualizations. Re-imprint those visions on your mind, and it is going to soon become a reality.
Absolutely. Very well said. Thank you. I mean, come on. Every one of us sitting out here and watching you, firstly, have smiled at some point in time while listening to you right now, too. And that in itself means that we have the ability to smile and feel happy. That's number one in gratitude, right? So many things to be grateful for. The fact that we're listening to you here, we have our hearing, we have our eyesight.
Absolutely.
We can't
Yeah.
take these things for granted. Hello, we have
Absolutely.
our breath. We can breathe.
Yeah.
In COVID days, this is critical. This is gold. So, and we have our homes to sit in, as you said, to be able to hear you. So there's so much gratitude there.
And imagine the power of Wi-Fi. We just forgot the Wi-Fi. Oh my God.
Yes, and we have a lot of gratitude to Mr. Steve Jobs, don't we?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
List is endless. It is going to be endless.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I don't think any of us can say that it's hard to put anything down. There's just so much, and you're right. This is, by the way, guys, this is such a powerful tool. Please start it today. Please try it even today itself, and you'll see how much of a difference it makes and how much it empowers you, changes your internal thought process, your own belief of how much you can do out there and are in control of your life, which totally changes your happiness quotient. Also, I wanted to say hello to many others I saw come in subsequently. Sanskar says, I have a beautiful home. Thank you, Sanskar. I do, and that's another big gratitude point on my list. And Harshad, I think we all have beautiful homes, don't we? We actually have sit down there and appreciate our homes now so much more than we ever did.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Harshad, Rita, Natasha, Manisha, Ria. So you all come in, Ria. So love to have you all with us. Any last thoughts you'd like to leave us with, Yashica, and then we can wind up for today. It's been so valuable.
Yeah, it's been lovely talking to you. And before we wind up, I'll again suggest three tips I would like to give so that they can register. First is to check your feed of the mind. What are you feeding to your mind every day in every way? What are you feeding in your vision, in your ears, in your speech also? Second tip will be spend your night before you sleep or any time during the day, maintain a gratitude journal. This will drastically change your thought patterns in a big way. This is how actually I shifted my totally negative mindset 5 years back. I was a totally negative person who would never appreciate anything, was full of complaints, and was so busy in talking about what's happening in the world because my job as a journalist was such, right? So every time, but I made it a habit that I am going to write at least 10 statements of gratefulness. And I even started saying thank you to the cab drivers, to rickshaw pullers, to my mobile chargers,
It's
to the
just
peon in the
nice. It's
office.
just
Yeah,
nice to be nice. Yes. Yeah.
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 So it happened. So this way I started rewiring my mind. This right. So it was second tip, and the third is visualize. Do not visualize what you do not want. Visualize what you actually want in your life. So start focusing on your thoughts. Be mindful. If you are saying, okay, why the food is not tasty, for example, it means you want tasty food. So start speaking about tasty food, not tasty food.
Hmm.
Speak more about what you want, not what you do not want. It's a very thin line. Be mindful of these things, and it is actually going to bring a lot of transformation in your life.
Very, very powerful tips. I've done these myself, and I realize how very quickly it changes your life all for the better. It impacts you all for the better. So, guys, I cannot stress strongly enough how important it is to start doing this right away. It just changes immediately. Please do help yourself. Yeah, you've got to uh, allow us to help you, right? So
Yeah,
get
of
going
course.
on
And
that.
this is what I mentioned in my book also. I authored it last year, and this is the Amazon bestseller. I mentioned 21 laws how we can rewire our brain and
Bring it
manifest the
closer.
life you desire.
Bring it closer to your screen. Can we see it?
Yeah.
What's it called?
This is Amazon bestseller, 21 laws to manifest the life you desire. Crack the scientific
21
code.
Laws to Manifest the Life Which You Desire by Yashica Jolhotra. Fabulous. Thank you. So important, guys, because you know what? Living an unhappy life is not worth living at all, in my opinion. Okay. So do it for yourself. Do it for yourself. And the fitness, wellness, health space, which is my life's work, this is of optimum importance, isn't it? If you're
Absolutely.
well and happy inside, it shows on the outside. And when you're not, that also shows on the outside.
So true.
So
Yeah.
thank you, Yashica. That was fabulous. Thank you, guys. We will sign off for today, and great having you here with us. Get
Thank you
started.
so much for having me here, and have a
Thank you.
great evening, everyone. Thank you for being here.
Stay safe,
Thank you.
all. All the best. Stay happy.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.